Hi, this is Dr. Justina Agnieszka Chevalier. Because this is continuation of legal aspects in correctional facilities and in society, it is a statement of a fact, status quo, okay? Because we cannot actually pursue forgiveness for not desiring nor loving of another person. It takes two. The other person does not love nor desire, and such is the source. All of non-forgiveness in context of natural law and derived from that family law and civil law, so material law, is because there is happy consensus settlement to the utmost happiness of all of the involved. That includes criminal law in the killings and in pursuit of life together when dead, when the two agreed on it, the same as enforcing such or impeding such and causing murders. And all of murders and crimes and rapes derived from that because, I'll tell you this, remember, all of violence, harm and torture, however horrific, is not forgiven but taken as sign of non-existing for true desire sufficient to pursue that person as sole source of a child, or in absence of such possibility, insufficient to pursue that person's well-being as incapable of loving of any other mutually, in mutual adoration, and having such a superior and wonderful to pursue, for instance, profession, meditation, time together, or non-stop sex, in person or otherwise. And that is why it is, to the best of your knowledge, the happiest of solutions. We cannot forgive because the other one does not want that forgiveness, not because that one wants that forgiveness and there is someone else who that person blames or indicates non-stop conflict that impedes relationships worldwide. Crimes that involve torture, infliction of pain, detention, and all of causing suffering, all of negative emotions and physical impression denominate as pain part of suffering. All of those crimes are a result of ignorance, and from ignorance derive also intentional infliction of pain, even the one that exceeds human capacity, and pursuit also of others pursuing pain or death. The source of it is ignorance, and you need to now change that in system of justice to gradual understanding and intentionally pursuit in hatred or in anger, harm or death on another, or pain, or in non-intentionally did so, non-intentionally meaning meant the best, but instead harmed, trapped, medicated, tried to, like a dog, trap or reduce to someone else. Non-intentionally meaning that person did not realize that person was suffering, didn't know, or when so suffering somehow thought that person liked it despite presence of manifestations of pain, or that person will like it. That is not true. Now, forgiveness is obtained as such in such steps. Realization that there is no, absolutely zero chance that even though a person is a cruel torturer and murderer, that person told that seeking that other person, animal or creature, death or harm, suffering in any way, directly causes death and harm to self and all of persons and creatures that person cares for. And that pursuit of such creates that person does not have death sentence, but has to learn and obtain superior skills, faster work, superior and better knowledge, including such, and then pursue better way. That's one. If person has such knowledge, such as this, if I do that to another person, will that person like me? No, like in kindergarten. The same is with all humans and animals. If someone harmed in hatred, that person, another one who loved it, even one loving the other one, will create danger and pursuit of hiding or attacks. Parasitosis is an example of that, of remediable, resolvable situation in which that becomes a commensal cohabitation relationship or some symbiosis in all cases. And so the same is with humans. And secondly, you need to know, okay, tangible, non-tangible repair. The other one needs to be informed about that person's when hatred, when joy, participation, direct on or indirect one, determined as the other person of group of perpetrators that made that person hate or rejoice in harm of the other or the others. When that person is informed about and knows about it, it cannot be disproportionate in looking for mutual forgiveness. It has to be mutual. And then that person needs to understand what made that person pursue harm and death when feeling in sorrow and in feeling at loss that led to being in state of remorse, or if two, the other one kills themselves, which sometimes can be upsetting and we need to investigate. The other one is misinformed. If that person pursues a faulty remediation only, the other one will not feel relief from that or will feel humiliated. If person does not pursue faulty remediation, that always leaves a persons in harmony. And so that in explanations needs to be whoever was tortured, harassed and harmed will have capacity directly proportional to do the horriblest thing at most if presented in the same situation or presented with the same person. If that person would pursue, for instance, respect or pursue such superior roles, knowing that that person does that to others, for instance, or pursues the other one in ignorance as a person that actually is not able to understand and not superior as a victim. And so you need to know, you do not go there and do not say, oh, you're not gonna be able to talk to that person because you're gonna be scared, or no, you're gonna try to kill that killer. I mean, that is a complete and utter, again, abuse of power. And same for all of you. Understand, the other person has to corroborate. And you need to understand, I am trying to preach to you, understand respecting others as source of information so that I can go through to you and to persons that you are killing or harming, presenting that as something good. And so then, when that person actually understands what happened, when and where there was a mistake that led to harm in that other person, instinct to present the other as perpetrator, that person directly or indirectly forms a risk for that person's well-being or death, and that is bad, always. If you create a risk of death or harm to a person, you are a criminal. Criminal, nothing more. You pursue that person as obstacle to your own sexual relationship, or as potential rivalry or love declaration, as if it was a chicken. So get real, stop doing that. And the next is you have to, after that, pursue meetings, victim and that person, after that spreadsheet is established and the person self will tell you that other understood what they did to me. They did. And then that person is in no hatred approaching me or in arrogance to harm me, even with words, because that is the instinct to harm in self-defense. And when we file also restraining orders. And then when that is in the process of obtention of forgiveness, remember, death and harm makes your system a chicken coop, not a system. Not ours, yours. I didn't make it. Excuse me. The one associated, for instance, with McDonald's, or that type of thing. And if you're a physician, my dear, that black man from that Carolina, I think it was, if you are actually slaughtering persons under medical license, you are equal to Teddy Bundy. No different. So that you know. Just more ignorant and as callous in being harmed and forced to do such as possible because of impediment of pursuit, usually sexual relationships, and in disparities provision for own family as opposed to others to pursue children. And so remember that. It is the same if you delegated that to a syringe and just press the button. And the more important you are, the more you are the number one murderer. And the other ones are just aiding and abiding, depending on the level of consciousness. That next leads me to now the video that will include field report, what it is that I do. I do my own, for my own sake and sake of being in the area, to know if I can stay in that area, like yours here in Portland, or I have to leave because the area is completely impossible to, apart from doing free work until it goes through to the persons, to be implemented, and that there's needs all over the universe. And so I may just move somewhere else and leave it once that is the basic ones, the basic thing, knowledge has transcended, no matter how many lives it costs. So hopefully you will be able to actually open that email and read it, because sex is not work. And if you believe that at work people message you to have sex, you are deluded and can be fired and can be trialed for aiding and abiding to a murder. That's right. And so, especially with MD or in legal system. And that will be based on your own remorse, depending on how many persons every minute, like I said, tick-tack, are dying or suffering and asking for death, and unable to obtain alleviation in no harm, in no pursuit of, for instance, sedating forever. Sex treated exchangeable to drugs and alcohol. If you give persons versus benzodiazepines, you are giving persons, instead of pursuit of love of another person, being loved and loved, you give persons drugs, and you're ignorant also, not knowing that love then is superior, and you remove the love, that benzodiazepine is useless. Okay? So that I'm glad, because that was also, there's some sort of a misunderstanding about that. Chronic is love that is in reciprocity. Lack of reciprocity, person in aversion, there is no love, somebody else is preferred more. Okay, that is the only source of inherent badness. That's next will be the remediation. So we are clear, all crimes without pressuring, you lead that to resolution, all violent crimes. And no, person pursues murder, remembers someone pursuing murder, or enables that, person does not consider the other one as significant other, and vice versa. If that is remembered and known mutually, because of that being a spouse or the source of children, you need to know this is possible to resolve only partially. That is not then to discharge person to go home, force divorce, and pursue one another's marriage, or enforcing of any sorts, or remediations of something that you have no control over. Fear instead of desire, or love, hatred instead of desire and sex. That is not compatible. Okay. So that I'm hoping we are clear on. It is fully elaborated. There will be another set of videos if I have money to actually afford living in these conditions, because persons do not feel like there's funding necessary for that. I need to go through now a field evaluation. The second thing that I do is send an offer to do epidemiology based, as medical professional by education, strategic evaluation of, first, based on bigger picture, given institution, to give certain basis to feel safe, and to feel for all of the persons that it is permanent and constant, to pursue work, relationships, and also pursue a system of justice in the same as reversed order, depending on the two pending, the third one, in the time spent in jails or in such facilities in order. So I say chronic, and that's why I made that order. Otherwise, acute order is reversed.